trying to stay with Durant. Knocks it away, and Durant slipping. Who gets injured? And credit Serge Ibaka. There's the play right away. He knew it.
Kevin Durant suffered a ruptured Achilles during Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
It was just so devastatingly deflating that it's hard to put into words.
The scene in the locker room when Kevin went down was one of almost complete silence, raw emotion.
You could feel it was almost like it was a mini funeral back there.
This was Durant's first action after a 9-game hiatus thanks to a calf injury. Many believe Durant's Achilles injury was a result of returning to play before Durant's calf was fully healed.
We went through 4 weeks with our medical team and we felt good about the process. I don't believe there's anybody to blame, and if you have to, you can blame me. I run our basketball operations department.
News on CBS Sports HQ, it has been confirmed by Kevin Durant himself, a ruptured Achilles tendon. He has already undergone surgery. The surgery, Kevin says, was successful.
Durant's surgery would mean a year-long recovery, forcing him to miss the entire 2019-2020 season.
Despite his injury, Kevin Durant will likely be the most sought-after free agent on July 1st. But even if he does re-sign with the Warriors, we won't see him on the court for a long, long time.
And guys, we move on to some sports news. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are both headed to Brooklyn to join the Nets.
When you look at Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, two of the biggest stars in the league, going to the Brooklyn Nets, a team that really has always been kind of the redheaded stepchild in this city. Even though Kyrie had his issues in Boston last year.
I plan on re-signing here next year.
Oh! And Kevin is coming off a torn Achilles suffered in the NBA Finals. Still a huge moment for both the Nets and the league. The Nets have to be looked at as the team to beat going forward.
I mean, I just evaluated my life up until this point, and I couldn't make a bad decision, but this one was the perfect one for me.
This opportunity ahead of us is something that we haven't had in our careers, the ability to make a choice in the investment we had in one another.
Despite Durant's season-long recovery period, Kyrie and KD immediately became one of the league's most high-profile duos. Both former champions, the two now had an opportunity to add to their legacy without the shadow of former superstar teammates Steph Curry and LeBron James.
Coach bomb just into our newsroom. The Brooklyn Nets are hiring Steve Nash, legendary point guard, as their new head coach.
Nets GM Sean Marks hired first-time head coach Steve Nash to coach the team shortly before KD's first healthy season in Brooklyn.
Steve wouldn't have been hired a first-time head coach if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving didn't also believe in the hire.
I don't really see us having a head coach. You know what I mean? KD could be a head coach. I could be a head coach.
That might be one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard a player say.
Irving later apologized and clarified his comments. Nash seemed unfazed publicly and said there was plenty of collaboration amongst the coaches and players. The 2020 season got off to a shaky start. Both Irving and Durant missed time due to nagging injuries. They started off the season 5-6. This was just a small sample size of a new team learning to play together. But patience is not a courtesy often given by the NBA media landscape. Expectations were obviously high for the Nets. After an early season trade, those expectations would skyrocket.
Warriors and Nuggets, but first the Rockets and Spurs in San Antonio as Houston turns the page on the James Harden era, 9 games into his 9th season wearing the Rocket uniform. 4-team deal. Players winding up all over the place. James Harden.
I love this city. I literally, have done everything that I can. This situation is crazy.
What's your reaction to potentially reuniting with your former OKC teammate, James Harden?
I'll wait till the deal's finalized to talk about it.
Harden will take, you bet, James Harden. Lob it up. All green finishes. Irving breaking it down and finishing with the left hand. Drive. Oh, busting ankles. Kevin Durant with 24. Kyrie Irving with 25. And that's it. It's the end of the line for the Boston Celtics as the Brooklyn Nets will advance to round 2.
Okay, let's look ahead. Your gut instinct when you think about the Bucks and the Nets. They haven't seen him with all three. They don't want to see that team with all three.
After beating the Boston Celtics in 5 games, the Nets would face Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks in the conference semifinals.
Very physical game as Irving throws it in, goes down hard on his right shoulder.
Irving would sit the rest of the series, leaving it up to Durant and Harden to lead the team to the next round. Harden was dealing with an injury as well, but was able to play in the decisive Game 7 in Brooklyn.
All right, the Nets looking inbound. Jeff Green gets it into Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots. Yes! With 1 second remaining. 1 second left. Durant hits the three.
From that angle, Marv, it looked like definitely toe on the line. And
back to Durant. Guarded by Holiday. Durant for 3. Comes up with an air ball.
After Durant was inches away from sealing the series, the Nets fell in overtime and were eliminated from the playoffs.
You put this team on your back. Does any of that temper the hurt that you feel right now?
Not at all. Who cares?
An NBA superstar remains sidelined during a high-profile standoff over COVID vaccines. The Brooklyn Nets benched point guard Kyrie Irving from all games and practices due to his continued refusal to get the COVID vaccine.
Their decision, and I respected it.
No, I mean, I told him how important he is, how much I want him to play play every game. I mean, I think for us, we just got to focus on, the guys in his locker room, and that's here.
The Nets suspended Irving due to his vaccination status. He was unable to play in home games because of New York City's vaccination mandate, and the Nets didn't have any interest in having Irving only play in certain road games. As the team approached the midway portion of the season, they changed their stance, allowing Irving to participate on a part-time basis.
We begin with Kyrie Irving returning to the court last night following the Brooklyn Nets' surprise reversal of its policy, barring him from practices and road games until he receives the coronavirus vaccine. Irving will remain ineligible to play in home games in New York because of the local vaccine mandate at sports arenas.
So do you think this part-time experiment is working, Matt?
This experiment's like a Sour Patch Kid. It's sweet when you got him and it's sour when you don't.
Despite Irving's return, Harden grew frustrated with the team's dysfunction.
Sage, James Harden wants a trade to the 76ers today, I'm told.
Sorry to interrupt you, Perk, but we have a trade coming in right now from our Adrian Wojnarowski. The Brooklyn Nets are trading James Harden to Philadelphia for the 76ers. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks.
I'm gonna need some size for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some size and some defense in the interior.
Yeah.
Especially with Giannis and LeBron James playing such great basketball this year. I need somebody to offset that, so I'm going to go with Rudy Gobert.
I agree.
The latter half of the season, Durant missed significant time due to an MCL injury. With Harden gone, Durant injured, and Irving only playing certain games, the Nets slipped in the standings, finishing 7th in the East.
Today I signed Emergency Executive Order 62, expanding the performance exemption to private employer mandates.
New York City will roll back its private sector vaccine mandate, and that Kyrie Irving now will be eligible to start playing in home games.
The new updates and vaccination mandates, as well as Durant's injury recovery, made the Nets a contender again as they prepared for a rematch with the Boston Celtics in the first round of the 2022 NBA playoffs.
Sit out. Smart fakes. Inside. Tatum spins and he puts it in. Celtics go up by 1. 19. They thought things would be different.
Despite Durant's health and Irving's availability, the Nets failed to win a single game in the series.
Swept in round 1. The only team to not win a single playoff game this year was the only team picked by 71% of GMs to win the title before the year.
Breaking news just in, according to our Adrian Wojnarowski, literally 4 minutes ago, tweeting this. Brooklyn Nets GM Sean Marks is working with Kevin Durant and his business manager Rich Kleiman on finding a trade for the franchise star. Apparently Durant requested a trade from the Nets today.
Despite signing a 4-year extension just one summer ago, KD requested a trade, looking for a move to either Phoenix or Miami.
If Kevin Durant is on the first train out, Kyrie Irving will be on the caboose as far as the Nets are concerned.
Brooklyn's ownership didn't budge, leading to a long summer of trade rumors and leaks. At one point, it was reported that Durant gave the Nets an ultimatum. Either Nash and Sean Marks are fired, or he leaves. Eventually, trade talks calmed down, and Durant agreed to move forward with the franchise.
You've seen what happened with our season. Guys in and out the lineup, injuries, just a lot of uncertainty, which built some doubt in my mind.
And now he's incredulous. Jacques Vaughn trying to hold him back.
Sports Center out of the NBA, Steve Nash is out as head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Jacques Vaughn will be the acting head coach tonight against Chicago.
What was your first thought when you saw that?
Shocked. I mean, you're always shocked when a move like this happens, but it's normal in the NBA.
After another slow start to their 2023 season, the Nets fired Steve Nash. Instead of the Nets being able to move forward with Jacques Vaughn, Irving's off-the-court troubles created more distractions for the team.
NBA star Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets shared a link last week on social media to a 2018 film that's been described as anti-Semitic.
The promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me doing, do you see me in front of
putting it out there,
the
people
title?
are going to say that you are
Yeah, put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
It's not
you put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff
Great.
is not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyrie.
Thank you.
I just want to offer my deep apologies to all those who are impacted.
Kyrie Irving apologizing after a firestorm of criticism and a 5-game suspension without pay from the Brooklyn Nets.
Is this the last of his time in Brooklyn?
I think there's a very good chance. There are so many people within the organization who are so tired of the stuff off the floor.
Irving ended up serving an 8-game suspension for the incident, returning against the Memphis Grizzlies.
Hey, Kyrie, how did it feel getting out there for the first time since the last time you were out there?
So good.
Irving's return sparked an impressive run for the Nets the following months. At one point, the team posted a 12-game winning streak and carried a 25-12 record before Durant went down with another MCL injury. This injury didn't seem to be terribly serious, as Durant, who was having an MVP caliber season, was expected to return in about a month. But Durant's expectations for a return weren't enough to salvage the season.
We have breaking news right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Brooklyn Nets are trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks.
What?
Kyrie Irving wanted a commitment on a long-term contract extension, and the Nets have not been willing to make the kind of commitment.
I just know I want to be places where I'm celebrated and not just tolerated or just, kind of dealt with in a way that doesn't make me feel respected.
The Nets received Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith in return for Irving, 2 pieces that could fit well around Durant.
Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, those were around Durant trades.
However, Durant had had enough of his experiment in Brooklyn.
Breaking news. Late night on the West Coast, early morning on the East Coast. The Nets they're no more, at least as they started this season. Kyrie got a win in his Dallas debut, and Kevin Durant is headed to Phoenix.
Sean, why did you trade Kevin Durant?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's always difficult when you're trading a player of that stature and that ilk. But at the same time, to be able to move Kevin to a place where he will have success and they will enter into their championship window.
I'm disappointed as a basketball fan because in 2019, when Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant signed in Brooklyn, I think we had this vision of what that partnership could be. And for 33 games, from the time Jacques Vaughn took over to when Kevin Durant got hurt, we saw what was probably the best version of that.
Thousands of fans showing up this afternoon at the Footprint Center. Ovation from the crowd and chants of KD that started even before he came out and lasted throughout the press conference.
You sum up your time in Brooklyn.
It was a lot of ups and downs, but I love the grind. And everybody in Brooklyn loved the grind too. So I built a family over there. They're going to always be a part of my journey. So we didn't accomplish what we wanted to accomplish as far as winning the championship, just like I told him, but I enjoyed the grind. And everybody there, we tried our hardest every day, regardless of what was going on in the media, what was going on with our teammates.
everybody who was in that gym, we grinded. So I love those guys. I get emotional to talk about them because that was a special 4 years of my career, coming off of Achilles, and they helped me through a lot. So I don't have anything